pursue full-time freelancing about 2.5, 3 years ago. And so far it's going pretty well, but by pretty well I don't mean that that's all I do is write and I can sleep until noon and just come and go wherever I want. I meant to say this at the beginning, but I'm known for covering some things really well. I wouldn't say I'm an expert. I feel like I'm too much of a novice to be an expert, but I'm not at that point, but maybe I am, I don't know. There's a couple things that I cover really well, so people automatically come to me for those. Electronic music I know like the back of my hand because I used to work as a DJ and because I follow it really closely and I'm totally into it. I can't believe, like, I have like a lot of beefs with stuff on Craigslist and I don't recommend it at all. I found a lot of stuff on there and a lot of it was stuff that was really shady. Once in a while something cool comes up, like once in a while I'll see something where I actually know what the company is and stuff, but I've never gotten calls back from them. I only seem to get calls back from people who want to pay me $8 an hour to run errands for them as like an assistant editor, but basically like, you know, a glorified errand runner for 50 hours a week. I'm not going to do that. Okay, I had, this was Coachella, and I think it happened at Ozfest too, but this is a Coachella. I had to interview this band, and the band didn't want to come out of their trailer, and they were being like real pains about it, so the publicist is like, why don't you sneak backstage? I'm like, how am I going to sneak backstage? There's, you know, all these guards everywhere. So she got me the wristband of this guy named Famous Tony, who actually was famous, but I didn't realize it until afterwards. So she got me his wristband. I snuck in with his wristband. I did the interview. I give the wristband back to Famous Tony, and I start to go out, and I made a wrong turn. So I ended up, and then a guard, almost walked into a guard, and the guard saw I didn't have a wristband, and they kind of like, they put me in the cart, they took my driver's license, I'm like screaming at them, but I'm here to do an interview. They tried to take my tape player and my tape. They drove me all the way out to the front. They were gonna like throw me out, seriously. I'm like screaming at them the whole time, and then finally somebody says, well, she says she's a journalist, so maybe we'll just let her back in. And then they started this whole thing about how I claim to be a journalist, and I'm like, I just played you the tape of the interview, and they were just being really, it was actually kind of scary because I didn't know where they were, you know, like they just shoved me in this cart and started driving off. I'm like, you know, what are you guys doing? Nobody would tell me what was going on. They just kept on saying, you're not supposed to be here, blah, blah, blah. In middle school in Santa Monica, it was last Monday. The story was due before 8 a.m. on Tuesday, so I got home at 10 p.m., started transcribing, finished transcribing at about midnight, started editing it, because this isn't the entire interview. The entire interview was like close to 5,000 words, and I had to get it down to 1,000 words plus intro, and I think we ended up getting it down to 1,100. So I finished the story at about 3:30 in the morning. The story went online sometime on Tuesday. As soon as I got the link from my editor, I started seeding it. Do you guys know about seeding? Okay, seeding is when you try to get your story as many links as possible. You want to do this to increase the traffic so that it goes up on Google.